Hi, it's Tom from bkmnutrition.com, and today I want to talk about the 6 principles that I live by to work with clients and that I encourage everybody who wants to have a successful body transformation to follow. And now these principles are my own principles that I've made from working with clients from my own experience. Probably other people have their own principles they work by, their own set of rules and regulations. These are the ones that I've found, if I follow these, that I tend to get the best results with my clients. My clients get the best results if they follow them. And generally anybody who I would advise to have these as their 6 sort of top goals to achieve have the best results with their body transformations. Now this can be applied for fat loss, for muscle gain, or a little bit of both if you're looking to just look a little bit better for, say, holidays or something like that. So the first principle to abide by is only eat foods that you like. Now, while this may seem logical and may seem like, well, why would I eat foods that I don't like? Many of us do eat foods that we don't like when we're trying to lose weight or to gain muscle. And it seems quite ludicrous as to, well, why would I eat sprouts? Why would I eat broccoli? Why would I eat kale? Why would I eat whatever? All these foods that people prescribe in their diet plans are essential or superfoods or fat loss foods. But that's why we eat foods that we don't like, because we have a belief that certain foods have magical properties. Now, unfortunately, apart from magic mushrooms, perhaps, there are no magical properties of foods. Food is filled with calories, and calories determine fat loss, or in any case, muscle gain, fat gain. So it's always important to eat foods that you like, because you're going to be doing this for a long period of time. And if you're always eating something you don't like, while you might be able to do that for maybe a couple of days or a week or so, eventually that's going to start to eat at you, and forgive the pun there, it's going to start to get to you, and you're going to start thinking, well, why am I doing this? And then you start resenting your meals. You don't look forward to your meals because you know that it's going to be something you don't like. You're not going to derive pleasure from eating, and eating should be a pleasurable thing to happen, because it's one of the main things we do in our life, obviously, to maintain our lifestyle. Now, some people can do a diet where they eat the foods that they don't like in order to achieve a goal. I've certainly done diets for bodybuilding shows where I've eaten foods that not so much I didn't like, but I didn't really want to be eating them every day, day in, day out. But I did it to accomplish a certain goal and to get ripped to stand on stage and win trophies. And I did win trophies, but sometimes I didn't win trophies. And then it was a little bit annoying that I'd done all that stuff and put myself through all that hardship for nothing. And that is how people feel when they do a diet and they've eaten all this food that they don't like, and at the end of it they gain all the weight back again. It's like, well, why have I done this? Now, if you eat foods that you like, you're more likely to enjoy the process and put more time and investment into it in order to achieve the result. So only eating foods you like is crucially important. Now, especially for fat loss, because you're going to be under a slight amount of stress with fat loss, but also for muscle gain, because a lot of people, when they're trying to gain muscle, will just try and eat as much food as they like. And you see a lot of people, bodybuilding coaches advising people to eat like humongous amounts of chicken and rice and all this so-called healthy food. And again, while when you're dieting, you might not look forward to meals because it's not foods that you don't like, it's foods that you don't like. If you're on a gain mission and trying to gain muscle, and then the next meal you've got to eat, it's going to be a whole load of chicken and rice, or essentially foods that not so much you don't really like that much, but because it's so much stodge and so much overkill of a food that maybe you do like and now you're starting to resent, then maybe that's not going to be the best option as well. And certainly I've seen people, and I've worked with clients before, who've just been given diets which are like just loads and loads of chicken and rice or potato, and they start to just resent the diet. They start to not like a food that previously they had actually been okay with eating. So it's important to have variation as well in your diet. Not just if you're looking at 60 grams of carbs, 70 grams of carbs per meal, don't just think, oh, I should have all of that from rice. You can have rice, you can have fruit, you can have all sorts of stuff to make that carbohydrate amount up. So that's number one. You always eat foods that you like. Number two is that exercise should be enjoyable. Again, why do people do burpees? They're horrible things. I don't see the point in doing burpees. Some people enjoy them, and I know some people from my gym actually enjoy doing them. I have a client who does 100 burpees every day, and that for me seems like hell, but he enjoys it. But if you don't like doing an exercise, then don't do it. Again, you get the people doing fat loss protocols where they have to do a certain amount of cardio, a type of cardio, or they have to do certain types of weight exercises. Some people are adamant that you absolutely have to have squats in order to build legs. I couldn't squat for years due to a shoulder injury, so I had to use front squats, or I had to use leg press, or other types of machines, but not a traditional back squat, where there are some people who argue that back squat, you have to do back squat in order to build big legs. Same people argue that you must do bench press to build big legs. I couldn't do bench press for years due to a shoulder injury. I had to do either incline press or not even use a barbell and do dumbbells. I couldn't do the flat option because of a shoulder injury. Yet I still built one of the best chests on the amateur circuit at the time. So you don't need to do a certain exercise to build muscle. Muscle responds to a stimulant, to fatigue and to failure. As long as you are stimulating the muscle to failure, you will start to build muscle. And again, if you are creating a calorie deficit through exercise, you will burn body fat. It doesn't matter the exercises that you do. Certain exercises, yes, do lend themselves better towards building muscle because of the nature of them, but you can build a great physique without some of these essential exercises. So just remember that you don't need to do any exercise if you don't like doing it. Make it always enjoyable. You'll enjoy the process, and you'll start to look forward to your workouts rather than resenting them. As soon as you start resenting your workouts, you'll find excuses not to go, and then that translates into, I'm not going to the gym, I'm going to do something else instead, less productive. So always enjoy your exercises. Number 3, accountability leads to action. Now, I've said before, and I've said hundreds of times, and you'll see it on my videos, I always talk about an accountability partner. Now, an accountability partner is not necessarily a coach. I'm a coach. I coach my clients. I have groups where I work with people, and I've been very effective at getting people results by being their accountability partner. But an accountability partner can be anybody. It can be a group of people, like Slimming World Weight Watchers group meetings. It can be a Facebook group. It can be a group of people in the gym, your circle of mates. It can be one person who is honest with you and will tell you if you're giving them a load of rubbish, why you can't stick to your diet or stick to your training system. An accountability partner may be someone you converse with on WhatsApp. It might be someone who you have an email relationship with. It's one of those things that is someone who's independent, not a friend or a family member who lives with you or has close contact with you, because they're generally going to give you the answers that you want because they don't want to upset their relationship with you. And an accountability partner should not be afraid to say, that's the wrong thing, you need to be doing this in order to get the results that you want. And if you have an accountability partner, that leads you to action, because they will tell you that you're not doing things right and you are not doing the things that you want to do to achieve what the goals that you've set yourself. And that's really important. An accountability partner has your best interest in mind. It's not looking to make you happy, it's looking for you to get the results that you want. So when I'm coaching people, I quite often tell them that they shouldn't be doing that because it's not going to be what they want in the long term. And I'm quite happy to take the hit in terms of they may not like me for that moment when I tell them, but in a couple of weeks when they get the results they want, then they do tend to like me, hopefully, after that. So make sure you have an accountability partner or something that is keeping you accountable to yourself to make sure that you are on target to get the results that you want. If you don't have an accountability partner, then you will not get the results you want because you'll find excuses not to do the things when they get hard. Number 4, consistency results in change. One of my big 3 C's, so I have clarity, choice, and consistency. Those are the things that I use with my clients in order to get the results. They have to have those things in place. But consistency results in change. Now, you can do a diet for one day, you won't lose a load of body fat. You can go to the gym for one workout, you won't gain a ton of muscle. Same, if you take a day off the gym, you're not going to lose the muscle. If you take a day off your diet and eat a load of rubbish, then you're not going to gain a ton of fat. It's these things done day in, day out, one after the other, that has a consistency that leads to the change. Now, consistency can lead to a bad change, such as bad habits, or consistently eating cake while you're watching TV or something like that, or it can lead to a good thing. So consistently going for a walk 20 minutes a day is one of the good habits that I promote for my clients. And if you have consistency of action, that leads to the change that you want to make. You might see me talking about the vote sheet before. The vote sheet is making sure you're consistently doing the things that you want to do. So every time you make a vote for the lifestyle you want to lead, you write it in the yes column. Every time you make a vote for the lifestyle that was your previous lifestyle, you put it in the no column, and then you look at why the no things happen, change them so they become yeses next time. You need to have that consistency. If you don't have consistency, you won't get to the body that you want. You have to do it at least 80% of the time to be on target for where you want to be. And an accountability partner will keep you consistent. That's the importance of having one. Community builds courage. We are often the product, or we are the product of the people we hang around with. You might have heard this phrase said in a number of different ways, but if you want to be a millionaire, you must go and hang out with millionaires, not people who are on welfare or who don't have any money and poor and just complain about it. You need to hang out with the crowd that you want to become. You need to be in that circle. People who tend to hang around with people who are driven and motivated, they're the people who become driven and motivated themselves, because we as humans, we want to fit in to our environment. If you're always in a community where you're going out drinking, doing drugs, eating loads of junk food, no matter your resolve, you will eventually start to shift towards that pattern if that's the majority of your time. So your environment and your community that you're in will give you generally the outcome of where you're going to be at the end of it. So if you want to make positive changes, you need to have a good solid community. Now, this is why I run group programs, and this is why I have intakes of 6 weeks of all the people that are coming in and are making positive changes. We're all in the same community. We're all an accountability group together. We're all doing things consistently, and having that community, all those things lined up and going into one direction, that is what gives us the actions and the results that we want. I run 6-week programs, I run 6-month programs, and also I have programs that I run 1-to-1, which are between 8 and 12 weeks. All that is a community where we're working together to get the results that we want. If you don't have that community, generally if you're trying to diet on your own or do a training plan on your own, you haven't got an accountability partner, you haven't got a community, you haven't got a group that maybe you're updating in, then it's very unlikely that you're going to get the phenomenal change that you want. You might move some way towards that, but if you really want to get the results, you need to hang out in a group of people who are motivated to do what you want to do, or who have achieved the goals that you want to achieve, and you're learning to do that yourself. And the last one, number 6, is that incredible acts begin with small actions. Now, this is a bit of a cliche, sort of buzzwordy type thing, but it is, it's the small acorn growing into a big oak mentality. When I started training, I didn't have any muscle. I was tiny. I went to the gym because I was bullied at school. I did martial arts because I was bullied at school, and I wanted to be able to fight back for myself and to not be bullied and create a better mindset for myself. So I went to a gym filled with bodybuilders, age 14. My dad got me my first membership. I was already doing jiu-jitsu at that time in order for self-defense. And I went to this gym, which was filled with bodybuilders, massive guys. And there was me doing the bar for bench press, and that was heavy. So a 20-kilo bar was all I did for about 6 months or so, trying to build up that strength. I started off with someone spotting me on the 20-kilo bar, and I built up to, my best ever bench was about 180 kilos at my heaviest and my biggest. But I couldn't have built that physique if I hadn't started learning the basics and learning the very simple processes to get me there. And this may sound stupid, and I say, I wouldn't do that. Everybody does that. When you start a new diet, what do? You immediately do a ton of cardio, restrict a load of calories, and try and get there as fast as you possibly can. I've seen people come into my gym, young guys coming into my gym, and they immediately go and try and lift the heavy weights or try and throw the bicep curls up. And I have to say to them, look, if you want to build a quality physique, this is where I started, this is where you must start. no one's going to laugh at you because we've all been there. We've all been at that beginning point. No one laughs at anybody in my gym if they're starting out or they're overweight looking to lose body fat, because everybody starts somewhere. And that's what you must remember. If you are starting a new diet, if you are starting a new training routine, unless you're highly experienced with training yourself and you're just looking to improve your training routine, or you've done loads of diets before and lost loads of weight, but then why have you gained it back again? Maybe that diet wasn't the best thing to do. You need to make sure you're doing the basics first, getting those basics in place. So if you're looking to lose body fat, you need to calculate your calories, you need to allocate them across your meals, you need to list the foods that you like, organize them into meals, and get your routines, improve your activity, and keep evaluating. All those are the 7 steps of my calorie system. They all build systems in order to get where you want to be. You must build those systems, those small systems, as a foundation to get the results that you want. Most people don't do that. It's why they fail. They try and jump in at the deep end straight away, get the results fast, take a pill, take a fat burner, take all these whatever to get the results they want faster, and unfortunately they never do, because they haven't got those systems built and haven't got the consistency built before they're trying to do the incredible acts. So those are my 6 principles. If you stick with those principles whenever you're trying to do a body transformation, then you will get the results you want, because you won't overexert yourself, you won't put too much pressure on yourself, you'll have good support systems, you'll have someone telling you if you're going off the rails, and you'll be in a community of people who want the same thing. All these are really important. I know there might be other things that you might think is important or other people might think is important. Those are my top 6. Those are the things I look to bring out of a client, bring to my group programs, and the things I tell people they need to do in order to get the results they want. I've coached hundreds of clients. They've all had results. Some have had phenomenal results. Some have had good results. Yeah, sometimes they haven't had the results they wanted. Generally, that's down to the fact that some of those principles aren't in place. But now I'm generally at a 99% hit rate of people getting the results they want, because they put these 6 principles in place with my help, and they continue to use them long after they finish working with me. So I hope that was helpful to you. Try and build your own 6 principles. If you need any help with that, please put comments below. If this video is helpful, please like it, please share it. Apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.